Making a living the old hard way, taking and giving my day by day. I dig snow and rain and the bright sunshine. Taking the line, my dog Sam eats purple flowers. Ain't got much, but what we got's ours. We dig snow and rain and the bright sunshine. Taking the line. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one. No is the saddest experience you'll ever know. Yes, it's the saddest experience you'll ever know. 'Cause one is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. One is the loneliest number, worth two. It's just no good anymore since you went away. Now I spend my time just making rhymes of yesterday. One is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. One is the loneliest. One is the loneliest. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. It's just no good anymore since you went away. Number one is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Number one is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Number one.
That was one from the Futchies Run as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the album Run, released in August of 1970 with the Sunshine Factory Deluxe edition of the album. And that song was a big hit for us and a single. And we performed that live on the Sonny and Cher show. And I'll never forget that night at the Sonny and Cher show. It was crazy. And that was also the night that I met the Jackson 5. The Jackson 5 were performing on that same show. So that was wild. Sonny and Cher show is what I associate most with that song for some reason, even though it was a big hit and played on the radio all the time. But we didn't perform that song live on too many specials or shows, we did play it live in concert, and that's the other thing that I'm noticing just playing this stuff back for you on Track by Track with Max, and I'm Max Futchie as we listen to the Futchies Run. I realized that a lot of these songs became our live staples in the 70s. Of course, because this album was successful and sold more records than Broken Arrow even sold, and that album did very well. And it came out, of course, in 1970. So we were going to play songs from this for most of the early part of the decade, that's for sure. But the songs off this album, like "Liar" and "One," "Old Fashioned Love Song," that's for sure, all became major parts of our live show, and songs that fans pretty much expected to hear when they came and saw us live. So we felt kind of obligated to keep them in the show, maybe even longer than maybe we wanted to play them live. So, anyways, we get back into it now with the next track off side two. Track number 11 now is Spaz, the second song with Zach Futchie, our drummer, doing his lead vocal thing, and it's even crazier vocally and sonically than the song on side one, Run, 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 written by Zach Futchie. This is Spaz.
You're walking down the street, you can't believe me. Come on now, that's right. You're walking down the street, you keep lifting your feet, but you never find a place to go. Never find a place to go until suddenly, man, you never even knew what hit you. I say what hit you was the back of your hand. That's right. I say get off of the street, boy. People gonna think, yes, they're gonna think. People gonna think you're space. Come on now, that's right. You're pretty shook up, so you go to get a cup of water just to calm you down. But when you turn around, some jokers up just said, hey, you know it was a mama's tea. That's right. I say get off of the floor, boy. People gonna think, yes, they're gonna think. People gonna think you're space. Some clown's gonna try and pull away your chair. So you stand until man, you can't stand any longer. Hey, you know you shouldn't have never sat down. That's right. I say get off of the floor, boy. People gonna think, yes, they're gonna think. People gonna think you're space.
That's Spaz off of Run by the Futchies. You're listening to Track by Track with Max. I'm Maxwell Futchie as we celebrate the 50th, I can't believe it, but the 50th anniversary of our album Run from 1970 with the Sunshine Factory Deluxe Edition package and re-release CD. That was Spaz, and Ray Davies, the lead singer and the frontman for the Kinks, who produced this album, really pushed for that to get on the album because he thought it was funny and it was fun. And he even plays like some weird instrument in that song. I can't remember for the life of me now. I know Zach would remember, but I can't remember what Ray played, but I know he actually played on that song. So that's Spaz. Next is another one of our singles and part of our, another one of our screw ups, another one of our scandals, or whatever you want to call it. This single was a this single was side A, "Old Fashioned Love Song," which we hoped and were correct would be a big hit. And so what we decided to do was put something kind of special on the B side. What ended up being that special track was something we had recorded, written by Seals and Croft, called "Summer Breeze." And of course, people are probably familiar with that fact because, again, like every other song that we do from somebody, somewhere down the line they end up recording it themselves because they feel that they should or they have the desire to and every right to because they wrote it. But yes, a few years later, I think in about like 75, Seals and Croft actually recorded Summer Breeze, but we recorded it in 70 and it wasn't going to be a part of our album. We never intended it to be a part of the album. It was going to be a song on a soundtrack for a movie for a friend of ours. We got very close with Neil Young, who produced the album just before this one, Broken Arrow, Picture Frame. And his next project after working on that album with us was a movie project and a soundtrack that he was working on called After the Gold Rush. It was going to be a movie and it never panned out. So one day after going in and being his backup band to return the favor for producing our album, he comes in and says, well, the movie fell through, something about, the guy who wrote it or was going to direct it or some funding or whatever. There's going to be no actual movie for After the Gold Rush, but I'm still going to release the soundtrack, which we thought was kind of crazy, but pure Neil. I didn't want to waste the good music, release a soundtrack for a movie that doesn't exist. So he's like, look, can you come back in so we can do some redubs on some stuff that you guys played on? And I'll just release this as my album, but we'll all know it's a soundtrack to this movie that never came out. So we recorded Summer Breeze as the Futchies, especially for the soundtrack. So it wasn't going to be on the album now because it's not a soundtrack. It's Neil Young's album. So you can't just have a song by the Futchies on Neil Young's album out of nowhere. Although I think Scooter would argue that we had the right to do that after he sang and did all kinds of stuff on Broken Arrow. But that's beside the point. We then decided, oh, what a great opportunity for us to make this kind of an exclusive B-side on our single, our 45 for Old Fashioned Love Song. And so that's what it was. And it went through the roof after a DJ decided to play it instead of the A side that he was going to have to play for the 25th time during his 4-hour shift because that song was all over the radio and all over the place. And let me just, as a side note, say that Old Fashioned Love Song was a really fun song to play. Always fun to play live because we always kind of went crazy with it and overdid it. So even though we're talking about Summer Breeze, because it is connected to the situation, and the reason, let me explain why that is a situation, because the song went to number one for like 3.5 months, the summer of 1970, because it was released just before we released the whole album. And so, all of that attention and money or sales could have gone towards the record if the song Summer Breeze had been on the record, which a lot of people thought it should be or would be, but it wasn't. So the only way to get it was the 45. So I have talked enough about that, and to prove to you that we're not going to talk anymore about that, I will play both songs back to back for you. This is the 45, the way it sounded. A side, Old Fashioned Love Song, written by myself and vocals by myself, and Summer Breeze, written by Seals and Croft, was the B side, and that's vocals by myself, Maxwell Futchie, as well. So enjoy.
Just an old-fashioned love song playing on the radio, and wrapped around the music is the sound of someone promising they'll never go. You swear you've heard it before as it slowly rambles on. No need in bringing them back 'cause they're never really gone. Just an old-fashioned love song, one I'm sure they wrote for you and me. Just an old-fashioned love song, coming down in 3-part harmony. dreams upon and listen to each evening when the lights are low, to underscore our love affair with tenderness and feelings that we've come to know. You swear you've heard it before as it slowly rambles on and on. No need in bringing them back, 'cause they're never really gone. Just an old-fashioned love song coming down in three-part harmony. Just an old-fashioned love song, one I'm sure they wrote for you and me. Just an old-fashioned love song coming down in three-part harmony. Just an old-fashioned love song, one I'm sure they wrote for you and me. To weave our dreams upon and listen to a song. Just an old song coming down. Just an old song, what I'm sure they wrote for you and me. Just an old-fashioned love song coming down in three-part harmony. Just an old-fashioned love song, what I'm sure they wrote for you and me. Just an old-fashioned love song coming down in three-part harmony. Just an old-fashioned love song, what I'm sure they wrote for you and me. Just an old-fashioned love song coming down in three-part harmony. Just an old-fashioned love song, what I'm sure they wrote for you and me. Just an old-fashioned love song. See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. Little light is shining through the window, lets me know everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. See the paper laying on the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door. So I walk on up to the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune, and I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there while I care in the world. the smell of rain in the kitchen, food cooking on the plates for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
So there it is, Summer Breeze, the B-side, and the A-side, an old-fashioned love song. Both big hits for us, one a little bigger than the other, being a number one for us, which was only our, was only in our career at that point, since 1966, only our third number one. So very excited about that. And then, of course, these last two tracks I'm going to play together, too, because radio stations started playing them together. There's sort of a phenomenon that happens in FM radio, especially on these album long plays, these LPs. That's what LP stands for, by the way. If you didn't know, little fact from Max, facts and facts by Max on tracks. Okay, this is getting a little crazy. Here we go. The radio stations will sometimes play two songs together if they appear very close together or overlapping at all, even if it's just for effect on the album, thinking that it's all one song or supposed to always be heard together. There's famous cases of this, which would be like every time you hear We Will Rock You, it is followed immediately by We Are the Champions, as though they are one thing, right? Well, they are two separate tracks by Queen. Same with Journey coupling, which I think is Feeling That Way and Anytime are so close together on the album that DJs all over the country in the 70s played them together. And another famous one from the radio that you hear all the time, an example, would be Heartbreaker, which starts off side 2 of Led Zeppelin 2 and goes immediately into Living, Loving, Maid. She's Just a Woman. And that gets played together as a coupling of songs unnecessarily, just because they're so close on the album. That was the case with Run, as Run gained popularity as a full album on FM, and not just the singles being played, but B-sides and just album cuts and album tracks got very popular in the mid to late 70s. They started playing our last two songs from the album Run together all the time, and that is You and Can't Find My Way Home, the last two tracks off of Run by the Futchies. I've really enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed these last two songs, because these two songs are really good in a different way than anything we've recorded up to this point. Maybe a couple moments on Broken Arrow, a picture frame, we reached this kind of quality and level of songwriting and musicianship, but it seemed that these last two tracks on Run sort of set the bar or the template for the rest of the 70s. At least I see it that way, and I hope you do too, because it seems like the Futchies music gets even more serious and even more substantial, heavy, and a deeper sort of side of the Futchies coming in the 70s, with a lot of great musicianship and getting Scooter back as well too. So excited about that. But these last two songs really kind of set the mood for the quality of the Futchies to come. So hopefully you enjoy these last two songs as much as we enjoyed recording them. This has been Max Futchie for Track by Track with Max on the Sunshine Factory.